All right, so let's go ahead and go after our interview for the. Of course, we have to call him first. That's always a fun thing. Is calling an interview. It'd be funny if I get a voicemail.
Hello?
Mr. Ryder.
Hi, how are you, Mike?
I am great. Welcome back to The Experience. It's been a while.
It's been a really, really long time. I'm so happy to be back.
Well, it's great to have you, my friend. It is on this Saturday night. Now, the first question I have to ask you before we dive into the meat and potatoes of this interview, it's a Saturday night. What are you doing answering questions from me?
So I actually am on my spring break right now, and I went to go visit my grandparents for the second weekend of my break. So I'm in Connecticut right now, so I'm kind of taking a little bit of a break from being in the city, which is nice. So yeah, that's what I'm doing my Saturday night.
Well, yeah, when you're in the city that never sleeps, I figure a guy like you is probably out roaming the streets looking for trouble.
Yeah, that's something like that when I'm not extremely exhausted, which I am normally and most of the time. No, I'm never looking for trouble or anything. I'm normally super tired. But no, we went to go see a movie tonight, so that was good.
All right, so I must ask, what movie did you take in?
We saw the super depressing downer. Sandra Bullock was in it. Gravity. We saw Gravity, and it was in a kind of an off-kilter movie theater. So they were still playing it. I don't know when it was in theaters originally, but yeah, it was pretty sad. It was a downer for sure.
Yeah, no, not one of those movies that you go expecting be bouncing out of the theater saying, "Wow, what a great movie!" No, you're in tears by the time the movie's over.
Yeah, it was kind of a bummer. Have you seen it?
No, actually, I have not. That's one movie I haven't taken in, but I did see last week the new one, Son of God. I did go to that.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I don't know though. I'm not much of a movie person, so I don't know much about the movies. So.
Well, that's completely understandable. Now, you have got a new CD coming out. Of course, they don't say CD anymore. You got a new electronic album coming out. I believe the name of it is American Fighter. Is that right?
Actually, well, it's a two-part kind of thing. It's a sampler CD, and it's called Hidden Treasure, which is a song from it. And but no, what happened was I have a full-length record written, and I plan to release the whole album at some point. But because of, I guess, financial situations and kind of dealing with labels and things, I had decided to take it upon myself just to record 6 of the 12 songs. So yeah, and I'm putting it out as a kind of a single collection. In the meantime, a sampler. And yeah, it's the collection is called Hidden Treasure, and there is a full length record. But so yeah, it's just kind of a taste, a little bit of a taste till the full length.
Well, you have sent me some tracks in advance, and I have listened to all of them, and I'm just totally blown away by the music. What I like to do is ask you about what brought in this latest collection of songs. Is this just something that, as a musician and as a writer, you just kind of, once an album's released, you just kind of start going back to the drawing board and finding new ways or new music, or how does that work?
Yeah, so I guess what would happen was I had, I don't know, like I had been working with the label before for, when I was much younger, and then I obviously left that contract, and then I moved on to making Lighthouse, which is my last album, my debut record. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I was really driven to experiment and really kind of, I don't know, break boundaries, which I thought were boundaries at the time. But listening to the record in retrospect, I think I was just kind of young and wild. But But I think that really the inspiration for me making this record, which is currently untitled, I don't really know what it'll be yet, but was that I really just wanted to make pop songs, I guess, and not like the bubblegum pop radio that you hear, these days, but I guess like a traditionally composed pop record or whatever, and that was kind of my challenge, because originally, Lighthouse is so crazy and weird, and I mean I was 16 when I wrote it, and I'm 19 now. I'll be 20 in a few months, so a lot of time is I guess gone by, and I wanted to improve, being a writer and being a composer, and so it definitely, I think that was probably the inspiration, was that I wanted to prove, I think, to people that that I could be a good songwriter instead of just being some 16-year-old kid with a lot of engineering programs, or audio engineering programs, and making crazy beats and things, which I was doing before. So yeah.
Do you ever have one of those moments? I've dabbled back in my life. Of course, I'm 40 now, being the old man that I am, but I used to dabble back in my high school days and even in my early adulthood with experimenting with music composition and lyric writing and things like that. And it used to be for me is when I would just be out somewhere or just sitting around thinking about literally nothing, and all of a sudden an idea just boom pops into my head for a lyric or for a music score or something like that. So when you take a song like Eucalyptus, which is one of my favorite tracks that you sent, what is it that that is that one of those things that just comes to you, or do you really just kind of explore your feelings at the moment when you start writing? How does that song come to you?
That's so funny. You're so funny. You're like the weird ones. No, I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, Eucalyptus was one of the weird ones. Eucalyptus was the first song I recorded when I was doing that session. It was Eucalyptus, because what would happen was that I as an acoustic artist, or I write acoustically, and I bring it to the studio. I bring it to the session musicians that Stuart Myers hired. Stuart Myers produced the recordings, and that was the first song that we did. It was the very first song that we recorded, and that one was a really difficult one. Eucalyptus was such a struggle, just because we were really focusing on American Fighter and Half Asleep, and another one called Blow Away that isn't released yet, that will be on the EP. And another one called Sister's Keeper, which these are predominantly the four singles off the record. Mm-hmm. And the other two that we recorded, Hidden Treasure and Eucalyptus, were not that they weren't important, but they weren't gonna, we didn't anticipate them to ever be singles. So we didn't. I think that Stuart had in mind, using, I guess, producing pop work or whatever. And so these were kind of the back burner songs. To me, of course, they're, super important. They're all my babies. But no, yeah, that one was really difficult. And kind of what happens is, like I was saying, is that I bring these piano-composed works, just with vocal and melody and harmony that I've kind of composed and scratched out, and then piano. And then we have the session musicians. Basically, we all play it live together, and we record it live. And that's how we made the recordings. And but Eucalyptus was really really tough. That was something that we kind of dabbled with, or I dabbled with a new kind of style, and I think that it's very much a rock song for sure, and it's something that I wanted to more of. It definitely inspired stepping stones for the rest of the record. I really want to go into more rockier work for sure. I want to use lots of guitars and pedal steels, and which we used a lot. But yeah, I definitely want to go into that. So to answer your question, though, I guess where does it come from? I guess I just kind of had a feeling, a mood in that song. It was kind of angry, and I just told Trey and who played guitars on it, just to do something that kind of kind of reciprocate the feeling of the song.